Now, the man that he always takes on and has a royal battle with is Jurgen Hingsen. But in fairness to Jurgen, we have to say we believe his injury. He's got a couple of strap ribs, and we've seen him in recent competition. But Daly says don't write him off. He's a tougher competitor than you would think. He went in a big hurdles race against all the top Americans recently and only ran 14.4. And when I suggested that wasn't great, Daly said, well, I'll be very happy with 14.4 the way I'm feeling at the moment. So he certainly hasn't written off this 6 foot, 6.5 inch giant, Jurgen Hingsen. His best at 100 meters was 10.7 when he set his world record. And he's therefore not quite as fast as those seen in the first heat. We've got two good Americans in this, three, all the Americans go in this. That's Gary Kinder. He's drawn next to, on the left, Dave Steen, you'll see the red of Canada, a great friend, close colleague of Daley Thompson's. They've competed a lot. They got the three Americans, Muzio and Tim Bright. They haven't had a great decathlete since Bruce Jenner. And they've now got three guys who are capable of getting around 8,003, 8,004. And there's one of them, Bob Muzio. The other is a remarkably good vaulter who gets most of his points in the pole vault. He's an 18.5 foot vaulter. But there's Jurgen Hingsen, who will be drawn in lane 5. And a little bit of camaraderie here, and that's genuine, because when you've got 10 events to go over 2 days, you don't make enemies, you make friends. Alain Blondel of France is in lane 6. Simon Pohlman there, seen him in the Commonwealth Games, big tall blonde New Zealander wearing their favoured all black. So it's Dave Steen of Canada, Gary Kinder USA, Rob Muzio USA, Tim Bright USA, then Jurgen Hingsen, Alain Blondel France, Simon Pohlman New Zealand, all running against the clock. Everyone individually timed electronically. Oh, when it's Hingsen that breaks, I guess he's a little edgy. And I think he feels that in West Germany, where the Zenkampf, as it's called, is almost their #1 event, it's a national institution, the decathlon, he's been moved from top spot by SIG Events.
I tell you what, Ron, I would think that Hingsen's had a look down at that previous heat time with Daly at 10.68, thinking he's got a good chance to get close to that, and was very concerned to get away quickly. But he has put himself into a little bit of difficulty.
And Daly will be watching the wind gauge. Now, why? Well, because in Stuttgart, he nearly lost to this fella, because being in another heat of the 100 meters, Hingsen got a much more favorable wind than Daley Thompson had, and that makes the difference of about 100 points. Daly should be 100 points better than Hingsen in this first discipline. And it's going to be crucial to him to see what Hingsen can do. Any better wind now will considerably help Hingsen. Oh, he's broken. Now, only in the decathlon are you allowed to false starts. In any other race, he would have been out and the event would have been over for him. Only in the decathlon are you allowed 2 false starts, and he certainly was the perpetrator of that. Have a look. Whose head's going up? Whose back's going up? Jurgen Hingsen. And the flag's already up. There will be no appeal next time. Well, he's a dramatic character. He loves being center stage. He's already dictated that. But he certainly put himself under some pressure. We won't see a Ben Johnson from him this time. He's safe away this time. Gary Kinder of USA getting a big start, and Hingsen not moving terribly well. Difficult to judge his time on this, but Pohlmann first, Kinder second, Hingsen at the back, and it's 10.83 the winner's time. So the margin, and it's a minus 1.26 win, so this time the big German got the unfavourable draw. He drew the short straw then, and I'm sure there's still a big margin with Daley Thompson 10.68. Hingsen there, I would have thought about 11.2, and 11.2 on these decathlon scoring tables is 817 points. That's only a guess against Daley Thompson's 933. I should think, Stuart, there'll be about 100 points between them at the end of the first discipline.
Yes, taking into account the winning distance there, Gary Kinder. Kinder will be 34 points, well, Pohlmann on the near side, about 34 points behind Daley Thompson on that. So it's a big margin between him and Hingsen.
Yes, we're really concerned with what Hingsen's time is. He's 1, 2, 3, 4 meters down. That's a tenth the time. And that's why I thought about 11.2. But not a good start for Jurgen Hingsen. And I think he's a giant of a man, and he really knows that in any other era he would have been the #1. It really is tough. It's like Harold Schmidt in the hurdles against Ed Moses. He's chosen this moment in history to compete against the greatest athlete in our history. And he is a magnificent animal, there's no doubt about that. If you were to start off with the two of them as a coach and say, which one will I choose, you'd probably choose this fella. But that's not to know Daley Thompson.
He was under stress all the way down there, Ron. You just have to look at his face. And he's in some trouble, I think. Not a great deal of edge at the moment.
Slight adjustment on Daley Thompson's heat time there, 10.67. Well, that's 9.35 rather than 9.33 points. And then Torsten Voss, the man I'm saying you've got to watch, as well as Siggy Vence. I think if they're healthy, the 3 medals are going to go to the top 3 there. Torsten Voss and Siggy Vence. Keskitalo, not to write him off, from Finland, 10.79. But all those men in the first heat will have done better than the second heat, and that means it's a good piece of seeding. They put all the fast men together against one another, and the seeding judges have got it right in this case.